When people quit, we have a story we tell ourselves about them, that they weren't committed, that they didn't want it badly enough, that they just gave up too easily. But if you look closer at what psychology actually tells us, you see a completely different story. Most people don't quit suddenly. It's not a big, dramatic moment. They disengage gradually. Quitting rarely looks like a scene from a movie. There's no clear, final decision. It's much quieter than that. It happens with delay, with postponement, with just a little less effort today than yesterday. People don't stand up and announce, "I quit." They just quietly tell themselves, "I'll get back to it later." And just like that, consistency ends. A goal dies not with a bang, but with a whisper. And the reason that whisper is so powerful, the reason we put things off until they disappear entirely, is usually not a motivation problem. It's a friction problem. Think about it. As the effort you have to put in starts to increase and your progress feels like it's slowing to a crawl, the cost of continuing feels like it's going up. Every single day, it costs you more. At the very same time, the reward, the benefit you are working towards, starts to feel impossibly distant. This imbalance, this gap between the rising cost and the fading reward, it makes slowing down feel reasonable. It makes stopping feel logical. And this happens long before you consciously decide to throw in the towel. Psychological research backs this up completely. Our ability to persist, to keep going, depends almost entirely on our perceived progress. When we can see that we're moving forward, the effort feels justified. It makes sense. But when that progress becomes unclear or it's delayed, our effort suddenly feels wasted. And the brain's response to wasted effort is simple. It reduces the investment. It pulls back. Not because the goal changed and not because you suddenly lost all your motivation, but because the feedback disappeared. The little signs that told you this is working are gone. And that right there explains why people so often quit right before the big breakthrough. They mistake slow progress for no progress. They think the method isn't effective, but in reality, so many important long-term goals don't deliver results gradually, they deliver them late. The results are stacked at the end of the process, not spread out evenly. So quitting isn't a failure of discipline. So often, it's just a timing error. You stopped running the race when you were one turn away from the finish line you couldn't yet see. So, effective discipline isn't about brute force or being a hero. It just accounts for this psychology. It's about designing a smarter system, a system that lowers the friction, a system that shortens those feedback loops so you can see your progress more often, a system that clearly defines what progress even looks like so you're never in the dark. People persist when continuing feels reasonable, not heroic, not emotional, just rational. In the end, people don't quit because they're weak. They quit because the system they are in makes quitting the most sensible choice. When the effort keeps rising and the feedback vanishes, disengagement is the logical next step. So the key isn't to demand more willpower, it's to design your discipline, your work, your life to counter that pattern. Make progress visible. Make the next step easy. Do that, and you'll find that quitting is no longer the sensible option.